Airship Lies by Ian Thomas Healy. Narrated by Murdoch Pennington. Pressure. Tramp freighters have always run on the ragged edge of disaster, whether on the high seas, in the skies, or in the big black of space. Gusarov was pretty sure the Scottish girl was going to give it up. For 2 hours he'd been plying her with vodka and sordid tales of his exploits as a dashing space pilot. He, the humble child of Russian peasant farmers, who'd clawed and fought his way into space, where he could fly one of the steam-powered Fultons around the world, delivering cargo faster than any dirigible or steamship ever could. He might have exaggerated some of the dangers here and there, but it was still space, and there was a whole lot of nothing beyond the airlock doors, where a man could easily find himself floating back to Earth as a freeze-dried husk, burning up in a brief flash of re-entry. The girl had eaten it up like a bowl of fresh haggis, and she'd said her name was, Maisie? Maddie? She had gone from rapt attention to stroking Gusarov's ankle with her own, to spreading apart her legs enough to let him caress her creamy thighs beneath her ridiculously impractical skirt. Earthworms never could seem to shake their gravity-based fashions, even in the microgravity of Pinnacle Station above Paris, or her sister, Roosevelt Station over Houston, Texas. Ground-pounder fashions did have one advantage, though, especially when it came to women's attire, and Gusarov figured to be making some well-practiced advanced docking maneuvers in one of the dark recesses of Les Sous-Sols, the docks, on the station's underside. Then, First Mate Wexler of the Hannibal's Bride drifted into the tavern, eschewing the aluminum strips riveted to the floor for the earthworms' comfort, and Gusarov knew there was no chance he'd be plumbing the depths of the Scottish girl's airlock. What was her name, anyway? Mary? Marcy? "There ye be, Goose," called Wexler. "Skipper's got a hot run, and said if I couldn't find ye, he'd hire some other bloke to fly the Bride." "Cannot have that," said Gusarov. He turned to the Scottish girl. She was the daughter of some wealthy tourist who wanted to add travel in space to the list of things he'd done to impress his other wealthy friends. Gusarov had found her wandering through the main corridor of Pinnacle looking bored, and offered to buy her a drink. "Maggie, I must go." When she didn't correct him, he forged ahead, pleased that he'd guessed correctly. "Duty calls, yes?"
"Ah, you're breaking my heart, Mr. Kasparov. I was hoping to get the grand tour of your Fulton."
Gusarov didn't bother to correct her mispronunciation of his name.
"Some other time, lass, yes?"
"You'll stay here on Pinnacle for 1 more week?"
"Aye," said Maggie. "Da has a plan to take a tour in an orbital Fulton to see the space railroad construction. He's invested some money in the project. Sounds bloody dreadful to me."
"Oi, Goose, either move your bollocks or lose your job. We've got a schedule to keep." Gusarov saluted in a half-hearted way. "Aye, aye, sir." He turned to Maggie. "I see you when I return, yes?" She answered with a surprisingly bold kiss that left them both a little breathless. It was almost enough for Gusarov to resign his commission right then and there. But that wasn't going to help his finances. A moment's pleasure could not pay for fine Russian vodka or oatmeal, which fetched a premium upon Pinnacle.
"Clear skies, Mr. Spaceman."
"Clear skies," Gusarov muttered, as he drifted out of the bar after Mate Wexler. "This good-paid job, yes?" "Aye," said Wexler over his shoulder. They floated past an area of the station still under construction, showing bare aluminum paneling moved aside to reveal the steam, air, and water conduits beneath. Once fully operational, Pinnacle was supposed to have electric power courtesy of a Curie atomic pile, but it wasn't yet completed, so the only light came from bulb-enclosed gas lights along the walls, fed by dedicated gas and oxygen tubes. The 2 men passed by a construction crew, their magnetic boots holding them fast to the deck while they worked.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?